of flat Earth. Like it's not. Time will go on, and people will talk about the 24-hour sun, try to rationalize it, but it will still continue, man. It ain't gonna end. And yeah, it's just people are gonna continue to explore. I think that the extremities of the earth will continue to be a focus for the world governments. I do see a foreseeable future where they will fight for resources in both the Antarctic and the Arctic.
Well, have you heard the idea too that like maybe they're trying to like if they planned it, um, so if they were involved in planting the false information that there's no 24-hour sun in the South with that AE map, the one they use for the United Nations logo as well, like if that whole thing is like, I mean, I've talked about this for years, even way before all this recently. So, I mean, that map seems to have, I mean, just looking into the history of it all, but nonetheless, it's definitely distorted. I mean, maybe somebody thinks that's the exact map, but I don't know. It seems like most people have just used it as like a blueprint or like an outline. And it does work with the way the sun moves over the continents. Like anytime it's high noon, you know, you can mapping it with the AE map, and then any place under it, that GP will be noon, like in order and in the right time. So it does work as like a clock in that way with the actual way the sky moves. Either way, so it is at least accurate in that way. Um, but yeah, like, but if the no 24-hour something was kind of planted in there in a way, and then Antarctica is so kind of like limited access anyways, and it's not until recently the more people have been going there and stuff. And then if like this trip that they just did kind of like puts it more into the public eye, I guess, with all the news articles now, like they got the kind of footage they want in the headlines and stuff.
I already expected this, so I'm already prepared for some negative publicity. But if it happens, I'm not really surprised, you know. And if it doesn't, then good. But some like many people have already said, you know, any publicity, even negative publicity, is good publicity, and I can't see it hurting us. I mean, we shouldn't be afraid of investigation. Flat Earth shouldn't be afraid of investigation, and we should continue to push forward and experimenting. And you know,
I mean, I don't know how much worse you can get. If you tell some average person you're a flat earther, they're gonna think you're a kook. Like, are they gonna think I'm even more of a kook now?
definitely. That's
Well, no. I mean, it's gonna be this thing of like, oh, it was disproven. Finally, flat Earth was proven wrong or whatever, because they got like what they're calling, you know, oh, like the world's top flat earthers. That's what they're saying, like in all the headlines, came and admitted they were wrong, you know, kind of thing. They have those headlines now. So yeah, it'll be then people who either just read that and go with it, or people who actually may or may not look into it. But I mean, I don't know, like really what effect it'll have, because people already have their viewpoint on it. So it's just maybe if they somehow think that their official source now has now come out, you know, and claim that they got like the, you know, the flat earthers there or whatever, the top YouTubers, assuming that other people will assume that they're some kind of leaders or you know whatever it may be, even though they are. I mean, they're people we've known for years and stuff, and they've been in the community. But I'm just saying, like, depending on how they kind of try to run that to try to make them seem like the authorities, by then like having some of those little cut phrases and little clips that they now have. So yeah, I mean, but it's a whole topic, like a sociological topic, as to what effect like running that in the news would have. But I mean, people already have a certain viewpoint on it. It's just that now they might think that it's like more officially been debunked or something just because they saw that headline, rather than actually understanding the complexity of it. But the other thing is that once they realize that it's not going anywhere, they're going to even be more intrigued as time goes on. Like, okay, I thought they said it was proven wrong, but it's actually, you know, still growing. So then it's going to even bring more people to inquire into it. But what I was saying is that, do you guys, like, have you heard, lastly, because this is what I was trying to say before, the main point, which was just that, like, the idea that the whole no 24-hour sun thing, and then now coming out with it and trying to say it's been disproven, is because maybe if they are going to do some kind of fake alien thing with UFOs or whatever, try just to get as many people out of the mindset that, okay, the earth actually could be a stationary plane, and they're you know, it's not a real alien invasion, like, meaning maintaining the globe deception, so
oh, I
that
see.
they have so it'll be less people questioning it and more people believing it, by kind of trying to flush out flat earth now, you know, before possibly rolling those psyops out. And that's why it's planned for this year.
I could see him hitting us with this alien invasion. Just real quick though, on the last thing I want to say, I saw a clip of Demon Stride on a YouTube short as I was scrolling one day, a couple days ago. He cut out Witsit saying he can't go to Antarctica. Then he cut to Witsit like in Antarctica. But yo, they're priming this alien invasion shit, dude. All them plasmoids or drones or whatever on the East Coast, like that's probably some black budget shit they got going on, some high tech Area 51 shit, and they're just gonna hit us with the fake alien invasion.
And they're trying to convince the
Could
whole
be.
world right now, because the thing is, the one thing that would actually, bust that bubble of that is people realizing we're not even on a globe in which aliens, although still on a stationary plane of Earth, you could still have like beings like extraterrestrials or outer ponders or other worlders or interdimensional things. So you could have that, but right now, because the thing is, the one thing that would actually, bust that bubble of that is people realizing we're not even on a globe in which aliens, although still on a stationary plane of Earth, you could still have like beings like extraterrestrials or outer ponders or other worlders or interdimensional things. So you could have that bubble of that is people realizing we're not even on a globe in which aliens, although still on a stationary plane of Earth, you could still have like beings like extraterrestrials or outer ponders or other worlders or interdimensional things. So you could have that, but the thing is, they've already sold this whole globe story so strong, and they have everyone defending it and thinking it's the real model of Earth. So
They have
every year they had the highlights of the year. They put out the highlights in a montage. This year, bro, towards the end is all about the UFOs, bro, and the drones.
yeah,
Like it's unbelievable, dude. Really is.
so they just like the idea to try to like kind of snuff out flat Earth, as it were, stationary planar cosmology, because in that idea, yeah, they're trying to do that now to just get everybody thinking, oh, well, that's not an option. Oh yeah, that thing has been disproven. The flat Earthers admitted they went to the end of the Earth, they went to Antarctica, admitted they were wrong, right? So now they have that like headline thing going. So if they do start doing some stuff like that, people are going to be. I'm just saying that might be their goal, is to try to make more people. Just think that that's not an option. Therefore, the globe is the real thing. Therefore, the aliens, of course, are more than likely. I mean, how could you even like logically argue that if we were a globe in a huge heliocentric system, that aliens wouldn't be the most likely thing ever, because it's massive? And if you were here, but why would you be the only one? And of course, there's got to be others. And like,
they have an equation for how many aliens there should be. It's called the Drake equation.
yeah, just theorizing on numbers of aliens based on
They got they plug a whole bunch
clusters.
of variables. They plug a wild variables in, like like just completely unknown variables and shit. Yeah.
Are they
I
counting
said
the ones that
build
get
a
sucked into a black hole and then take into another dimension?
Say build a wall. They're trying to take our jobs. I think in our galaxy they got the number at, like, for the Drake equation, they got it at like 20. There should be like 20 advanced civilizations in our galaxy or something.
Yep. Well, dude, even in my lifetime, I went to like when I was younger, my parents like they would have said, "Oh, aliens, no, that's like a conspiracy theory." And then later in our lives, as they grew older, and now it's you ask them and they're like, "Oh yeah, of course, there's got to be other beings out there." I mean, it's like, so that's even how much it changed in our lifetime. Now it's just like accepted that of course there's likely aliens, which is why they have Space Force and all this other like.
Yeah, that shit's quick, because I remember being as a kid, like, if you thought aliens were a thing, that was like a huge conspiracy. Like, I was into aliens, you know what I'm saying, with Art Bell and Coast to Coast and all that.
Yeah, I know, that was like off the beaten path back then. Yeah, it was like a.
You're like, oh, this nutcase, crazy conspiracy guy thinks there's aliens.
Right. Yeah, dude, that's what we grew up in. Like, you were crazy if you thought aliens existed, because obviously they don't. We're just on Earth and we're just Earthlings. But
they
yeah,
literally
that
have a
shifted to
formula.
like, of course there has to be aliens. Yeah, just slowly over years, they got a whole generation like changed their mind.
Like, I don't know when that Drake equation came out, but there's literally a formula for how many aliens. I don't know why people used to use that back then. Like, I never heard of that until recently. Like, I would have been using that back then. I was like, you don't believe in aliens? There's a friggin' scientific equation. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be hard to fake an alien invasion, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna be among us.
Too bad there's not a fungus among us. All they got to do is, Project Bluebeam, light up the sky, and everyone will go and hide.
It still seems kind of crazy to me to think that would actually happen. That they would actually like that the mainstream news would be telling us like aliens are here. They're holding us hostage or something crazy like that. But who knows? I mean, it seems like it's been in their plans. Like, and Werner von Braun, before he died, he talked about this as well. Talked about how like one of the last steps would be the fake alien invasion to then lead into like a new world order. And they could do all that without even showing us any aliens, and whether they would be able to pull it off, I don't know. I mean, they pulled the COVID thing off, even though I think there was some like bioweapons being put into the environment, so it was kind of real in a way, but not quite what they told us it was. But I mean, they got people to believe that. And when that happened, I remember like I don't know, I said it like as someone who was like, I just said, I was like, well, I was like, I hope they don't fool us on the alien invasion. Like, I'm just saying people that were, in my viewpoint, being deceived and they were being deceived successfully. I'm saying, I just said to like one person in one case, I just said to them, I was like, well, I hope you don't fall for the fake alien invasion, which is like the next big one. So seems like
I mean, bro, that's gonna
we'll
be hard
see, but I
though
don't know.
to
Maybe a
fake
lot
a
of people
whole
will
alien
fall for it.
invasion. I mean, what are you gonna say? Like they came to the White House, chatted, and then bounced, or are they gonna like blow some stuff up and try to do a reset? Like they can't have them like fake it and then have them living amongst us. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna work. You'd have to actually have
Anyone,
them.
has anyone looked into alien abductions at all?
Well, I mean, it's kind of yeah, that's a whole topic in and of itself as well. And
Not
like,
to get too far, I don't want to get like super into it, but they say, from what my understanding is that a lot of these stories correlate, and the aliens or whatever they are end up being interested in like reproduction. And so like the theory is that maybe they're future humans that destroyed themselves and they're like clones or whatever, and they are coming back to whatever, learn how to reproduce, which is, it's totally awkward. But that's like kind of the storyline behind it. Otherwise, like, yeah, actually pulling it off would be another thing.
Yo, what if the aliens are us, bro? Like we messed Earth up, or we sent out. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Crazy. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
that's interesting,
scenarios.
right?
Yeah, like we
Hey,
messed this area up, went to an outer pond, but
or
there was
underneath
still
the
some
ground.
humans under the ground. Yeah, dude, underground's a good scenario. They found that city with 20,000 people. Like not with the people, but they could have housed 20,000 people in Turkey. It could have been. We could have went to an outer pond though. Like we could be the outer ponders right now. Like we fucked this place up. We're like, yo, we got a jet. We go to an outer pond. There's still some like tribes and shit here. They build up population, spread out. You know what I'm saying? And then we're just chilling. Like our people are in the outer ponds chilling. And then they come back and they're like, yo, we're taking this shit back or something, or maybe they'll be cool with us. Who knows? But seriously though, Gio, what do you think faking it would look like? Like blowing some shit up? Like they come try to like Independence Day?
well, yeah, there's like a million options of what I mean in terms of a possible type thing that could be done. Um, but yeah, I mean, they could. I mean, if they're going to use like, I mean, it could go pretty dark. I mean, in terms of what possibilities. But yeah, they could have like various drones that have like weapons on them, and then be like exploding things, and then saying that it is like an alien attack, and then but they're the ones actually, actually shooting things or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and do different stuff like that. And then, I mean, who knows what other narratives they could run? I mean, I guess like we could speculate all kinds of things, but
What if it's Dave's scenario? What if it's New Perspective scenario where the aliens come and they tell us flat?
what did you say? The aliens come and
They,
tell us that what?
isn't that like Dave's scenario where the outer ponders come and then the government tells us the Earth is flat because the outer ponders came or something, right?
Oh, I guess I'd have to just let him kind of say some. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, he would definitely he's talked about outer pounders, yeah, and then that there would be like a he has said things like that, yeah. That
What if
they
they?
would
Okay,
come and
here's another scenario. Here's another
yeah.
scenario. They come, they fake the alien invasion. The aliens come. They hook us up with some new technology to break out all this automation and shit that they're gonna break out, and it changes the whole thing up. Like they get rid of money or something crazy. I don't know. Could you see them? Could you see them faking it, having aliens come faking the alien thing to make this like a better place, or for them to get more control? See, that's a good scenario. I think Reagan. I think it was Reagan that said the only thing that will unite us is an alien aliens or some shit. So this could lead to the unification of like the new world government, one world order shit Bush used to talk about. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, dude. As early as like
Now you're
Ronald
thinking.
Reagan.
Now
in
you're
his
saying
speech.
now you're using your fucking head. I know. That's probably what it'll be. Yeah.
A new world order. That's how they say it. Yeah, dude, it's gross. That Reagan speech as well, where he's like, if there was an alien threat beyond our control and all that, and then he's like, how quickly we would all come together and see through our differences. Which, I mean, that's kind of I guess that is inspirational in a way, like, oh, the humans come together, but if it's under like this
False
completely like,
pretenses.
yeah,
Yeah, like if it was legit, we all came together. That's like a beautiful thing. I know it sounds so good, right? Like it sounds like an awesome thing. We all unite.
yeah, but for them, it's uniting under like a one world order government kind of thing. Yeah, that would, I guess, just run everything through one central location, essentially, which it already is run that way, but it would just be more explicit. And then if they hook that all into some kind of like digital system, that would be the most negative. That's the thing, like people, either like asserting or kind of fighting for the globe, even though they may really believe it, so they're just saying what they think or whatever, but at the same time, like trying, like pushing that further is actually pushing, like giving the people who are in power that have these kinds of agendas to make our lives much, much worse in the future. Like if anyone thinks it's getting better under these current control scenarios, I would ask why, because there's some things that are getting better in the world in general, but at the same time, like the control is obviously just increasing. So,
Or we're halfway to 1984. Remember, wasn't there like televisions just pumping propaganda everywhere in 1984? Have you pumped gas
yeah,
recently?
yeah, totally. That's a big part of it.
My area has the gas pumps. There's TVs just pumping out shit, propaganda, and all of them. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
We're
I
halfway to
know. Not
1984.
all. Yeah, it just blasts like commercials in your face while you're getting gas. Just forces you to like you have to like wear earplugs to not hear it, but you still could hear it. It's so loud in your face. Not all of them have that though, but yeah, I know what you mean. No, dude, yeah. Well, that would be the most negative outcome. And I mean, whatever other nefarious agendas they then have, like it just gives them like more control. So unfortunately, that's the globalist agenda, and the globalists are the globalists because they do assert the Earth's a globe when it's not, and then they just completely dominate the world in ways that benefit them and don't benefit that are the opposite of the benefit for the people.
Yeah, dude, productivity. Since they installed a 40-hour work week, the average employee is productivity has went up 400%, but we're still working 40. Like we haven't seen that 400%.
Yeah.
So do you guys think I got this right now? I've been listening to everyone. Like this TFE thing.
What's up, Dan?